We don't know nothing about Bitcoin, people.
Well, nobody
Hello,
knows, I
Heather
swear.
Hartford at Common Healing.
Heather Hilton Hartford.
Oh, God, don't make me do a 3-name thing. Oh, my God. and Abbie.
Heather Hilton Hartford.
Okay, there we go. Fine. Are you happy now? All right. So everybody's interested in Bitcoin, and I don't know very much about it, but I will tell you the description.
Me too.
The definition.
You guys have never bought Bitcoin?
Huh?
No.
Neither one of you have ever done it?
Well,
No.
Lucas did it and sold it for much cheap before you did it. All right. It is a cryptocurrency created in 2008 and launched to the public in 2009. Eric's death year. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency without a central bank or central administrator that can be sent from user to user on the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network without the need for intermediaries. Transactions are verified by network nodes through cryptography and recorded in a public distributed ledger called blockchain. Bitcoin is very popular and has triggered the launch of hundreds of other cryptocurrencies collectively referred to as altcoins. All right, so questions to mediums. There's a lot of mystery around who created Bitcoin. Some people think it might be physicist and computer technology expert Satoshi Nakamoto. Other people think it was created by the computer scientist Harold Thomas Finney. Finney lived in the same town for 10 years with Satoshi Nakamoto. Lived in Temple City, California, I guess. Both Satoshi and Finney deny they created Bitcoin. What is the truth? Can we call in Thomas Finney? He died in 2014 as a result of complications of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh my God. ALS. I have ALS.
I'm going to cure that. Maybe he can talk to us from the afterlife and shed some light on this mystery. Okay, so what you want to do, guys?
Okay, so there's a lot about Bitcoin we don't know. And okay, so I'm breaking from the connection. I'm going to say I know nothing about Bitcoin.
That's boring.
And this, yeah, I find it boring too. And I was like, oh, we're doing Bitcoin tonight, but I think it's really important. So I'm going to break back into spirit, but I want to tell you, I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But it's very mysterious.
Okay.
And I asked my son, should we like put money into Bitcoin? And my son, who's almost 22, who's brilliant, he's like, Bitcoin is very volatile. You just never know. All right, I'm going to break back into spirit. We're talking about Bitcoin. All right, Eric's jumping in. Eric's like, Bitcoin. And boy, I wish we had that when I was there. Or I wish I'd known about it. Actually, it was there when I was there. But it was very, he's showing me like mining for gold, like digging. And I see he's showing me these geometric patterns and geometric equations. And he said, this is money that is not made and stamped by the government.
Right.
You can mine for this. You can actually go into the internet and find it. But you've got to figure out that it's like this, it's geometry. Our whole lives are about geometry. It's not just about money. It's about health and healing too. So you think about, yes, you could figure out the geometry to the Bitcoin and figure out, like, you can dig up this buried treasure. You can also figure out the geometry of how can I cure cancer or how can I cure ALS?
What are you talking about?
And it's a geometry pattern.
Understand.
And if you can dig into this and if you can find the pattern, then you can get there. And it's the riches that can come to you. It's not controlled by government, Mom. It's not controlled by government. And that's the beauty of it, is there's so much there, but it has to do a lot with patterns, with geometrical patterns and geometry. He's Eric. What is this? Pythagorean's theory, P,
Pythagorean, maybe?
Pythagorean's theory, that it's like that. It's like that. But that's what you get with the Bitcoin, and that's what you get with healing.
Abbie,
Yes.
what can you tell me on a practical basis
I'm so sorry.
how you can dig in and find the treasure called Bitcoin? You have to buy it. I mean, what are you talking about, Erik?
Okay. So I know a little bit about Bitcoin because I've bought Bitcoin. In my past life, not my past life, like my life that I don't talk about too often, that I don't let define me anymore. In my past life, which is not anymore, we used to buy Bitcoin to be able to, like, you know, get certain substances that we wouldn't consider necessary. No, I didn't buy heroin off of it, but I'm sure I know you can, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm just keeping it real here. Okay. But yeah, I can guarantee you there's lots of people watching this YouTube right now that know the dark web, that have bought Bitcoin, that have probably bought certain strands of marijuana that you can't even buy at dispensaries, or other substances. And we're going to keep it at that. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons why people buy Bitcoin. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of also dark reasons why people buy Bitcoin. So when you were bringing up those names at the beginning, I don't know anything about those names or those people, but instantly, actually, I was brought to the thought process of communism and the Communist Party in this really weird, backward way that they control and they manipulate things and they do things. So I don't know anything about these people that created this, but you know, there's something about that with the Illuminati, with communism, that it's a lot more darker and a lot more mysterious than anybody could ever imagine. And it's really about creating a whole level of society that can be controlled but can't be controlled. So it really is about Erik saying the distinction, and he's bringing up human trafficking, actually.
Oh, wow.
And how they're using Bitcoin for human trafficking. And he's showing me this giant yacht, like this beautiful, gorgeous boat, and like actually buying through that. So, and he's saying that so that way they can get away with tax evasion. He's just saying like how the rich keep getting richer, and he's bringing up what are their names? Maxwell, Ghislaine, what the hell is her name? Ghislaine Maxwell, and the other guy there that got, you know, that got murdered in the prison, but you know, he committed suicide. What the hell was his name? What are their names? You know who I'm talking about.
Who cares? Everybody knows.
Doesn't matter.
So anyway, so he's bringing that up, and how actually a lot of their transactions, and he's saying a lot of multimillionaires, he's saying the rich just keep getting richer, Erik says, and the poor just keep getting poorer. And he says, you don't think that they have their own way of currency? He says, and he's bringing it up to higher level politicians as well.
He's talking about how you can mine, you can dig for this currency because it's
there. What are you
there.
talking about? That's what I don't understand. What do you mean?
I don't know, Abbie, maybe you can help, but he's talking about digging, and there's currency that is not regulated that you can actually, it's almost like buried treasure that you can steal.
So,
and it's not regulated by anybody.
There's a whole nother level here that people just don't talk about, and it has to do with the Illuminati and people involved with that. I know nothing about the Illuminati, but like, we're talking about who are the people that are in charge of Microsoft and like Google and Amazon, like
the whole cabal. But I don't understand, what do you mean mining for it? It's not some physical thing. It's a thing.
So Erik is showing me these long equations. So he's showing me like a series of numbers and letters, and then he's showing me like the Pythagoras theorem. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm totally
You're
butchering
fine.
that,
You're
but
fine. Good.
it starts with P, I
Pythagoras
think.
theorem. Yeah.
And he says that's how hard it is to mine for Bitcoin. It's geometry, and he's showing me like geometrical shapes, like the universe, and geometrical equations, and how you can actually find this money
How?
through this process of coding
Oh,
a message. It's like a
Can
message.
I say something? I feel like
Yeah.
that's a way that you can actually steal it. What you're
Oh.
describing is the way you can actually steal Bitcoin. But it's really about the elite and being able to control their own form of currency and their own regulations for society.
Is that
So
also the
Bitcoin
royals?
in general, he's
Oh,
showing me
holy
Bitcoin
shit.
equals their own form. He's showing me equals, like you're writing on a whiteboard. That's what Eric's doing right now. Bitcoin equals its own form of control, in
Eric,
its own way of society. And he's actually bringing me to this show on Hulu that I really like. It's called The Handmaid's Tale, showing about how it's like a futuristic thought process of control by a communist belief system and the Illuminati. And so he says it's a matter of perspective on how you choose to use that currency, as it always is, but they're gonna just use you anyway, he says. So he says don't fall into it.
The banking, the bankers, the Rothschilds, the this, the that, the evil politicians, the academia, the media, all that, the whole cabal, that big Bilderberg complex, military industrial complex, all that are using this thing for evil.
Eric is saying this started with extraterrestrial.
Oh, that's a question. Was the idea behind Bitcoin channeled from?
He's saying it's all bullshit.
Wait, from all other dimensions or advanced alien civilizations? Yes or no?
Advanced alien civilization.
Which one?
And they're actually laughing at us.
Okay.
Abbie, what do you get from that?
Yeah. Because you said
I'm getting exactly what I've gotten from the beginning about it, is that it's based on the elite that are forming their own form of just society and communism. And it's their way of controlling what they can't control, which is the US economy.
Can we get in Harold Thomas Finney? Oh, yeah, because he's dead.
I just got 1976.
Which is what I have.
I don't
That's
know what that
interesting.
has to do with anything, but I just got 1976 that just went. So we'll just side note that for now.
Okay.
It must mean something.
Okay. So, is he here?
Yes, he is. What is the question?
Did you invent Bitcoin?
Yes.
What did Satoshi Nakamoto have to do with it? I mean, you lived in the same city, did you?
That name has a special meaning.
Okay. Can you explain?
It's not just one person. Not just one person invented this.
So
how can you believe that just one person
He says it's a
Bitcoin?
theorem. It's a theorem.
It's a
theory.
He says, how can you say that just one person invented this Bitcoin? Well, you can't. It's not true. It's just not true.
He says the
name has a special meaning, and it also has the letters have a special meaning. And you can try to figure out as much as you want, but you won't figure it out.
Really? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, has special meaning, or is
it has a special meaning?
B-I-T?
It has a special meaning, but you'll never figure it out.
Oh, we will, because Eric will tell us. Eric, what does it stand for?
Can I tell you something about this guy's personality that I'm picking up right now?
Yeah.
He really reminds me a lot of, that guy that kind of pulled one over about that whole like concert with all the celebrities. They actually just did like a 2020 special on it. Eric, help me with this, with the Fry. Eric's saying Fry. The Fry. Yeah. So Fry Fest. Thank you, Eric. And so there was this like huge extravaganza that was supposed to happen with all these celebrities, like Ja Rule. Eric's reminding me of this huge concert that was supposed to happen, and everybody showed up. A whole bunch of people showed up, and it was like bologna sandwiches. No,
Yeah.
So this man, right, that
Thomas Finney.
I'm seeing, yeah, he reminds me of that man that was in charge of Fry Fest. The same kind of personality, the same kind of look. We're not talking about the highest level of education. It's more like he came from something, and because of that, he was able to have the name. So maybe his family had money,
Okay.
or his family was higher in society, and that was able to establish enough of a rapport with the right people, he's saying, to be able to sell this idea. He says that Bitcoin is not so much a tangible item, it's more of a thought process, and whatever you want to use that purpose for. So you want to use it for good, use it for what you think is good. You
Right.
want to use it. He says nobody wouldn't use it for anything but what they think is good. People don't spend their money on things, he says, that don't interest them.
All right, but Satoshi, I don't understand. Satoshi Nakamoto, what does he have to do with it?
It's a name that comes from the adventure.
So it's not really a real person?
No.
All right.
Why would we? He's like, why would we give that name if it was a real person?
All right. So why do y'all want to? Why do you want to stay anonymous as far as you pretty much deny that you created Bitcoin? Why?
I got that it's a company.
Okay.
It comes from, a company, extraterrestrial, trying to get us out of the government.
Oh, yes. Oh, all right. So Thomas Finney, why do you deny that you had anything to do with the creation of Bitcoin?
Fear of death.
I bet. Does Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general play a part in the new Earth?
Yes.
It's going to be debunked in a lot of ways, though. Like, it's going to be debunked. There's going to be some kind of there's like a lot of lawsuits I get right now that are pending. It's a huge controversy.
I totally agree, Abby, because it's going to prove that we are more powerful than the government.
And remember how like I brought up the dark web, and there's like this whole society of people that it's not that they're so anarchists. It's not like that. They're actually pretty patriotic. They just don't believe in the way that things should be. Like who's to say that your driver's license is who's to say who you can drive? You know what I mean? Like it's more those kind of.
Is it true that Bitcoin will prevail in the future as the currency of peace? Maybe. Yes. I think so, because you're getting away from the government.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mom, this is a hell yes. But right now it's the problem is you have these people who are really, really smart on the physical level, but they're not quite as connected to the ethereal. So they're being fucking stupid, and they're gonna make it look stupid for a while. But yes, this is part of the future.
Can I put it out there that I don't feel like it's the name Bitcoin that's in the future? Okay,
that's just all we know. That's what we know it as.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the currency is not going to be Bitcoin, but more the concept on more like it's more like the American society has to catch up. Like the government won't have a way of regulating it.
Yes, it's taking us away from dependency of the government.
Kind of just like Erik says, kind of just like pot.
Yeah,
he's just kind of just like pot.
What about cryptocurrencies? Do you think the U.S. will ban it? Because I'm sure they would want
They
to.
Can't. They can't.
Oh.
They can't.
Will the diffusion
they have no control over it.
Currency eventually close the gap between the poor and the rich? These are great questions. Paula, thank you.
Well, can you repeat that question?
Yes. Will the diffusion of cryptocurrency eventually close the gap between the poor and the rich?
I get it now.
I
Heather, what do you get?
I don't understand how it could.
Eric, help me out on this one. Mom, that the thing is that you're not going to see this in your lifetime. There is going to be a gap, a closing of the gap between the rich and the poor.
God.
It's just not going to happen right away. What we're doing is right now we are in that process of that, and what it is part of breaking free from the government attachment. And there are little things and even things that we're not even aware of, like we are now of cryptocurrency, to where there is that detachment from government. But there are other things that we don't even realize are part of detachment from the government. So this is happening
We're
bit
getting more and more
by
attached.
bit.
This current administration, we're more and more attached to the government, controlled
So,
and stuff.
Mom,
spiritualism, as spiritualism evolves, my guides are like showing me this right now. As spiritualism evolves, right, and futuristic society evolves, right, so won't the need for cryptocurrency. So we're going to use that term instead. And it's more of a futuristic society, less based on ego and more based on talent and self-esteem.
Yeah.
Is what my guides are saying. And it's more based on the need for challenge to become a better you. And when it comes to Eric showing me the third eye, and how we evolve as beings on Earth, and how we be like, there's going to be this unite at some point in the far future with like, we're going to say alien beings. We're going to be more aware of our abilities to be able to reflect with one another, Eric's saying, and from there evolve as beings, and more of the need of cryptocurrency will align, because actually when it comes to money and the power of our society, it's all an ego.
Money is so ego driven, and greed, greed, same thing.
Hence Bitcoin, he says. Hence Bitcoin. It's not about anything other than somebody trying to drive their own society.
Yeah. All right. Will Bitcoin and the rest of cryptocurrency make cash and banks obsolete one day? And if so, when?
It'll make it easier for it to be illegal. Eric said.
Illegal?
No.
Bitcoin?
It'll make it be easier to do illegal things, like I was saying from my own personal experience about the dark web. Like, it's easier to do things like kind of and the government's trying to control it, and they're trying to, because they can run the post offices, they can do certain things to try and like make it so that way you can get in trouble for buying and purchasing these things. But there's always going to be that underhanded factor there that you can get away with it still.
Yeah, but Heather, will it make cash obsolete?
Yes.
How about banks?
Yes, Mom.
Banks
Mom, cash is also becoming obsolete. And look at it during this pandemic, how nobody wants to handle cash.
Oh yeah.
This is the beginning.
But cash is part of the underground economy. Is how people pay their illegal nannies and all that kind of stuff. And
Mom, look back 200 years ago. There were these freaking coins that were made out of rocks, or 2,000. I don't know. He's showing me back to where they were using rocks as coins.
Right.
And he's like, it doesn't matter what you use. We are going into the next realm. Yes, cash is going to be obsolete, and we don't use it as much anymore.
No.
It's going into that next level, but we don't trust it yet.
No, I know. Will Bitcoin become more stable and less volatile with so many institutions adopting it, and maybe with future regulations?
Not for
I
a
feel
while.
like the government is going to try, just like they did with marijuana and legalizing that per state. I feel like there's going to be this way of displaying it that they're just going to come in and try and.
They're going to try.
But
but they're not going to
What is
succeed.
truly going to happen? Tell me when it will be more stable and integrated into life and into humanity.
They're not giving that answer.
So I'm actually getting, I'm getting the opposite. I'm getting 2,225. Yeah, 2,225. I got to bring this up though, and Eric keeps showing me this. It's like a microchip. And I know that I've seen a lot of this like thought process on the internet, and who hasn't thought of this before, but it's like, he's saying, who the fuck knew 50 years ago that you could microchip your dog?
Yeah.
He says, so why can't you do that for humans? This is really interesting.
Awful.
He's showing me how we do it to our children, so that way when they get stolen, we can find them. Or you know, he says there'll be a lot less. He's showing me the positives of this, actually.
No, I can see that. Yeah.
He says there's a lot less stolen people, a lot less stolen babies. You want to find your wife? There you go, microchipper. He's showing me a very elderly couple, okay, and how easy it would be for them to be manipulated and taken advantage of from scams. And he says through society. He says, now imagine if there's that microchip and they have control of it in their bodies. He says it's a lot less likely that they're going to have to deal with the scams and deal with half of what they have to deal with. And he says it's going to be a lot more influenced by the families pushing this on them, first off, because he doesn't, you know, I definitely influence my parents the best I can for things. But he says that it's actually a lot safer. And this microchip thought process, it's scary. He says, but let's face it, that's reality. That's where it's headed.
If it's used for good, and if
he's showing me all the positives of it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of positives actually.
Will government regulations be good for Bitcoin, or will it hurt the decentralized aspect of it? Ooh, that's a great question.
It'll be very difficult for them, he says, to regulate it. And that is going to cause a lot of rioting and chaos. He says people don't like to feel controlled. And if the government tries to also regulate this, it's going to be another form of control, which is going to cause chaos, and people are going to feel manipulated. And that's the last thing that as a society as a whole, we want to feel right now and in the future, anytime soon or ever, he says, is manipulation. And it's going to cause a lot of chaos.
All right, Heather, should there be some government regulations?
Well, if you look back on currency in the past, Mom, currency has changed.
Yeah.
Currency is changing, but we're all evolved human beings. So we're saying, well, it can't change. We don't like change.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, it's changing.
So we're going to go like a lightning round on some of these things. All right. So from all the cryptocurrency, why has Bitcoin been the one that has risen the most? I'm thinking it's like the first one or something. I don't know.
It's the most familiar.
But yeah, okay.
Eric says it's the Jeffrey Epsteins of society. That's the name I was trying to find earlier that I couldn't figure out, like way back at the beginning. Okay. It's the Jeffrey Epsteins of society that keep that going.
I gotcha. Ugh. All right. Is Bitcoin the safest crypto coin to buy now, or are there others?
There is no safe crypto coin to buy. They're all sort of ebb and flow. It's like buying stock. Look at it at that.
Really good example. That is a really, really good example, Heather.
So when will the volatility of cryptocurrencies die down? How many years, centuries, whatever, decades?
It's not controlled. Not in our lifetime.
And when they try and control it, it's chaos because people feel manipulated, and
well, of course you can make money on volatility.
They don't want to get taxed on it. I mean, they don't want it to be regulated. That's why they do it in the first place.
It's not regulated.
The way to
it never will
taxes?
be.
I'm sorry?
Is it a good way to avoid paying taxes for some people?
Yeah.
For sure.
Should pay taxes. I don't like the current people saying they're going to increase taxes. That's so stupid. Increasing corporate income tax. Guess what happens when you increase corporate income tax? What happens? The corporations leave. They go to Ireland where it's 30% corporate tax, or they stay and they take their jobs with them. Or
Guess what you can
wait, but
get-
or guess what? They stay and they increase their prices of the goods and services to us.
Eric's showing me you're using this much of a thought process out of like infinitely what
I
it
know,
is. He's
I know.
telling you right now, he goes, Ma, he says, you know nothing about the dark web. He
No, I
says
know.
you can get whatever you want. He
I
says, you
know.
want to buy a kidney, you want to buy a boat, you want to buy a pair of boots, there you go.
Oh
He
shit!
says, you want to do it under the radar.
Wow.
There you go. How are you gonna
Wow.
do it? You're gonna do it through Bitcoin.
What I'm saying is that whatever, it's stupid raising taxes. People say there's nothing that backs up Bitcoin because it's digital. Some other people say that on the contrary, Bitcoin is backed up by computer power, which is the number one commodity sought after in the world. Do you agree?
Eric's saying yes.
Yes.
Okay. Onward and upward. We have just a few more questions we need to get through. Will Bitcoin take the place of gold?
No.
Eric says, how could it? It's about ego. You're talking about a
gold's about
substance,
ego?
gold.
Yeah.
We're
It
talking
won't.
Bitcoin equals ego. He's showing me on the whiteboard once again. But coin is not a thing. It's not a tangible item, he says.
Diamonds and gold are very overinflated. It's ridiculous. It's this like this created rarity that's stupid, but it's okay. Now, Bitcoin is mainly seen as a store of value, as a commodity. Will it be used as currency one day? And if so, when?
It's used as currency now, but not in the general public. It will be used as currency because everything's going to be done online.
Good. And when will that be? Is that the 2020?
Not in our lifetime.
Okay.
Really? Because
We have a ways to go.
Because I feel like I want to say that it kind of is a little bit now. I mean, you go on the internet and you pay for everything. This is just my personal opinion. I'm not
There
channeling.
is,
Bitcoin.
yeah.
We're talking about
But Bitcoin isn't going to be around for another 200 years.
cryptocurrency. When is it going to be used? Maybe even as the sole cryptocurrency, not just Bitcoin, as the sole form of currency.
Like Heather said, it's going to be a long time. I'm getting also like 200 easy.
Okay, 200 years. All right. Is
It-
quantum computing going to hack the Bitcoin network and destroy it?
Good luck hacking that network. You would have to be able to solve the Pythagorean theory
Okay.
to hack that.
So no. Okay. Is it true that Bulgaria is one of the top 10 Bitcoin coin holders in the world? And if so, why?
I don't get that.
I think that, okay, so Eric's saying it started where we wouldn't even imagine where it started. Bulgaria is an epicenter.
I get more Russia.
Okay, Russia and Bulgaria, maybe.
I get more Russia. Once again, I'm getting more Russian communism,
Oh, okay.
where it originated from,
Hmm.
like Putin.
It's not just one place.
Right. All right, before we close, because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 more questions, but I want to let you guys know that the Atlantis Scalar site, Erik is coming up with frequencies that will heal so many things, and possibly even quadriplegia, paraplegia, Alzheimer's. So you guys subscribe to the Atlantis Scalar YouTube channel. I don't know the link, just search for it. So you can be aware of when I call out for volunteers for some of these new services, okay? Very important. And also, before
And I actually got somebody from Atlantis Scalar who reached out to me for a healing, and I caught ectoplasm on video.
oh, it's big. Oh, more to come on that later. Okay, so let's ask the last 4 questions, and I want y'all to give your information. Is Bitcoin going to reach 100,000 in 2021?
Well, yeah, it's okay. Eric, tell me, because I'm like there. I don't want. Okay, Eric. Okay, there are too many. There are too many variables involved.
Okay, we can't. The quantum
Yeah, we
probability is
can't.
not
He's
set.
like, we can't predict that.
No,
They
it's
would
not
like to
set.
say yes, but Eric's like, we can't say that. There
No,
are too
no.
many there are too many hands in the pot.
Right. So we have to
So
wait.
it's like, it's a bigger concept. Okay, so that creator guy, I don't remember what his name is that you said, but
Finney.
he's saying that this is what I'm trying to avoid. He says it's a bigger concept than you can ever imagine. He says it's bigger than just what you're trying to put it into.
Yeah.
He says it shows you how, he's not being very nice. He's saying it's showing how little your mind is right now.
Oh,
With-
it's so rude, Finney.
He's not trying to be, it's not that he's trying to be mean, it's
No,
just
I
that
know.
his
It's
ego is
okay.
just in what this is and what it's about. It's kind of like the guy from Facebook, you know what I mean? It's just like,
Right.
it starts with this and then it's just like such a bigger concept than we
God,
can ever imagine.
All right. So, what month do you think it'll be the highest in 2021? Of course, it's quantum probability, and it takes a while for quantum probability to gel at 100%. But at this point, August?
I just got
Third
August.
quarter.
Before
Third
you
quarter.
even finished talking, I got August.
All right. So check back later, and we'll check the quantum probability. Will
I don't even know what that
Bitcoin
means.
increase its value past 500K one day? And then one more question.
Not this year.
Ever?
It will, but not this year.
He's
Cool.
saying the answer could be mind blowing for you.
Well, go ahead, blow my mind. What mind there is left?
Right?
What?
He's saying in the like I don't even know if this is a number, but he's saying it's in the quadra millions. Like there's this whole world that we don't even know about, that is just like exists, that people are living in and is their reality. And there's just this whole other like marketing world and stock market world. It's almost like an alternative reality that I'm like getting from him that is just like we can't even, and he's bringing up the Illuminati again. I don't know anything about the Illuminati. I don't even know why he's making me think of that.
Okay, so what is it? Is it going to go up to 500,000K or not? Ever?
He says it's very, very volatile right now.
Well, that don't tell me.
You could invest in it and it's going to go up and down, up and down. So it's
Well,
not,
do you recommend investing it into sitting on it for 10 years? Would that be good or bad or indifferent? I think trading it would be
it
dangerous.
depends on when you invest in it, because he says right now, this doesn't make sense to me because I have no idea. I don't even know about stocks, but he says right now you're at the peak or the upper part, the upper echelon. He's like, you watch it when it goes down. Yes, invest in it. But when it's up here,
No.
it depends on who you invest in. And it also depends on who's going to run with your money.
Oh, what about
Heather, I'm getting the same thing as you, that it's actually at a very pivotal point right now. So I'm getting that as well.
All right. So
What
pivotal
is?
point meaning we need to invest, or we need to wait until it goes down and then invest. And maybe
There are people taking advantage
so what do you mean? What does it tell us?
because it's not government regulated.
Okay, so yes, invest.
Yes, you're going to invest, and you should invest soon, but you have to know what you're investing in.
What about a fund of all the just cryptocurrencies instead of just one Bitcoin?
The thing is that there are just a few echelons I don't even know what echelons means. Thanks, Eric. Echelons. I don't even know what that means. There are a few echelons, but then what's happening are people are mining. They're mining for cryptocurrency. So there's so much more to dig for that's out there that people haven't found. And these codes. And he's like, you can mine for this. He's like, there's millions and billions of cryptocurrency that people haven't even brought up yet.
Wait, are you talking about figuring out the codes, the sacred geometry, the equation?
It's a
and then
sacred geometry.
find
It's a
I have-
code.
Got it.
I have to bring up that I kept getting the entire time we were talking, Heather, opportunities are infinite.
Yeah.
Okay, one last question. Dogecoin. I don't know how you spell it. D-O-G-E. I mean, pronounce it. D-O-G-E coin. Is that something, or is it just all hype now?
I'm not getting much from that.
I'm getting that it's a Cracker Barrel version of a great steakhouse steak.
Yes.
Cracker Barrel.
Yes. Macaroni grill.
No, yes, we don't have that anymore here. Anyway, okay, great.
That's
Y'all
perfect.
tell us how people can get in touch with you guys, and then we'll close it up.
Commongroundhealing.com.
Right, commongroundhealing.com, and
Abbie Dagnes. You can find me on Facebook at Brightside Medium.
there we go. And Paula will put all that in the description box. So you guys, check out atlantiscalar.com if you want to be helped. I mean, it's amazing how Eric and the Divine team that I work with really help so many people. All right, I love you guys. Bye, Eric.
Love you.
Bye.
Love you,
Heather.
Mama.